Sarah, we'll start with you. Can you just sort of tell us what the Indigenous Creators Program or Indigenous TikTok Creators Program is?
For sure. This program we started last year as a pilot in partnership with TikTok Canada, and it was so successful last year that we ran it again this year. And essentially it's an online program that we designed to teach and to provide tools and just shared experiences from other content creators on the TikTok platform to specifically, teach Indigenous content creators who are wanting to expand their career and horizon within the TikTok app or other social media apps as well.
So why did you guys see a need for this in the first place?
I think it's more so people came to us showing us that there was a need for it. So the National Screen Institute already does other Indigenous programming, which I'm lucky to be involved with. And I was brought in halfway last year for this TikTok program, and we had a high number of applications that came through. And while I can't share the exact number, this year we tripled from last year. So again, that need is just there from the amazing creators across Canada.
Well, and Julia, so you're part of this program. So how did you get involved in all of this?
Yeah, so I had some content creators that I was following that had done it last year, and it was recommended that I apply since I had started I was posting for about a year before I applied, and so I applied in August and found out that I got in November.
So, I mean, how's it been since you got in? I mean, just what's the whole experience like for you?
It was amazing. Just to have that community of other Indigenous creators has been very inspiring, and it's made me want to start posting more and to just uplift the other voices. It's been great.
And Sarah, so how do people get involved in it? So they apply, and then it's based off of some of their previous work, and that's how they get in? Is that?
Yeah, so the call for applications, we usually list out all the eligible criteria in there, and primarily it's 18 plus Indigenous folks who live in Canada. We don't really look too much into like the following count or anything like that. It's more of like as long as you're continuing to create and post videos. And then it's gone to a jury, which is a combination of either other TikTok influencers, other film media, or other sponsors within the film industry that kind of review all the applications, and then we kind of make a short list, and from there we choose our top 40.
Well, that's very interesting. Maybe I'll have to start posting, and maybe I can get in there.
Yeah.
So, Julia, can you tell us a little bit about your content and what you try to bring with your platform?
Sure. Well, at first I was just kind of posting for fun, just things I was interested in. But I really started kind of my content creator journey when I started posting some of my original music. I have this goal to write an Inuit musical. So the first video that kind of blew up, I guess, was a song from that called A Path I Used to Know. And from there I just started posting more, and then more videos about my Inuit culture.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll kind of open this up to the both of you, and it might seem like a loaded question. Maybe we can simplify it, but I guess what does it take to be successful on social media? And I mean, there's a need for the program, and there's a need for more Indigenous voices on these platforms. So what do you guys think it takes to be successful on these platforms?
Well, I think that it's always important to post authentically, and people really just want to see you at the end of the day, and the things that are important to you, and the things that you are excited to share. So for me, at least, that's what I try and focus on when I post.
And Sarah, just maybe from your perspective, I mean, what do you think it takes to be successful?
Yeah, I think keeping true to yourself and creating the content you want to create, and not going out of your way to do what maybe your viewers want. And I think we heard that from a lot of guests within the program too. They spoke to how they want to create what they want to create, and again, just sharing a piece of themselves and building up that community and finding those who share similar interests.
And do you guys think there's a need for, I mean, obviously with the program it shows that more people want to be involved, Indigenous people on social media, but is there maybe also a need to have that other side of the equation, if you want to call it like call it like that. But is there a need for more Indigenous voices like on these platforms?
Always, yeah, totally. And there's so much room and space for all of us to be taking up and to be sharing whatever experiences. A lot of our participants have a different range of what kind of content they make. We have musicians, we have comedians, we have gamers, we have designers, people who share language or different history stories as well.
And what kind of content usually garners the most interest? I don't know if there is any one specific genre, but maybe since you guys have done the program, or Julia, like have you noticed some of your stuff is maybe garnering more attention than other things? I'm just curious, like sort of what's hot right now, I guess, is maybe the question.
I found people have really liked when I share the stories from my life, or maybe like where I come from or my family. I'm writing the musical about the legend of the Northern Lights, and so when I share those stories, that was always kind of garner interest a little bit. Yeah.
And Sarah, like from your perspective
Yeah,
as well?
I mean, I think trends and especially like media is always changing and forever changing and evolving. And it's kind of, again, just finding the people who do share the same interests as you that kind of, you build up your following that way and they want to see more content or just support you in that. So it's kind of, yeah, just finding, again, what you prefer to create. And of course, there is like the analytics if you want to start following and see how you can probably, present yourself more predominantly, I guess, within the industry. But again, too, yeah, it's kind of up to each individual. And again, everything's always changing. So kind of whatever someone might be interested in, you don't really know. And again, too, anyone can go viral like within overnight and you didn't even know.
Sure. And social media is not the most positive place at times, right? It can be actually quite negative, and there's been so many stories of negativity and trolls, if you want to call it that. So is that something the program sort of takes a look at as well, and maybe how to deal with that?
Yeah, so the program most definitely, we try to cover some, background within the app, how to use it, and then we have other presenters who share their own personal experiences. And then we also did do a session where someone came in to share about essentially like bullies online and how to keep your mental health, safe, and making sure that you're safe online and just creating a safe space for everyone. And of course, too, it's always going to be there. So kind of just how to navigate that in a positive way, we try to touch on.
And Julie, I mean, you're a content creator, and I'm sure you've had some negativity a little bit here and there. How do you deal with that?
I think that when those comments do come in, they're not as common as all the supportive ones. But when they do come in, they do hit hard sometimes. But I think I just have to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing, and the reason that I want to post my songs and these things from my life, and I just have to remember why I'm doing it.
And do you have any maybe advice for any other people who are thinking of starting a TikTok, or maybe they have a TikTok and they're like, oh, maybe I want to apply to this program? Or what sort of advice do you have for somebody who's maybe looking at trying to do this a little bit more?
Totally. Apply. I think that I had such a good experience, and I feel like I'm a part of this amazing community now of Indigenous creators. In terms of advice, I'd say we kind of touched on this before, but just stay authentic to yourself. Always protect yourself, your heart, your mental health, because it can be a very intense space sometimes on TikTok. So just protect yourself, stay true to who you are. Yeah, I don't know.
And Sarah, with the program, is this something that's going to be continued and made like an annual thing? Is that being talked about at all?
At this time, we don't have like confirmation if and when the program will run next year. I think we're kind of looking at the data of all the applications we did get in, so we do see that need, and we'll kind of review that to see if and when we can do the application. And I just suggest following the National Screen Institute on social media, because we usually list all of our calls for applications there.
So everything is based sort of on who's applying? Is that kind of what it like, the numbers of people?
Yeah, a combination of that. And then, I think too, this is our second year in partnership with TikTok Canada, and it's been going really well. So I'm hoping we'll be able to move forward for many more years.
And just for me, I'm curious, like for the both of you, do you have Julie, do you have a certain video that you've posted that is your favorite? And Sarah, is there in the program, is there one creator that maybe you've liked a lot, or their video you've liked? Not to put you on the spot for singling somebody out, but maybe we'll start with Julie, if you have a favorite video you've done so far.
Oh, gosh. I did really like posting the first song, A Path I Used to Know. I posted the first part, and it was just fun to finally get this song that was so important to me out there, and I got really good reception on it, and that was my favorite one.
That's always good to hear, especially when it's something that's so personal to you,
Yes.
right? And Sarah, I mean, since you've been in the programs, or
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, running the TikTok Accelerator program, I do spend a lot of time on TikTok scrolling and watching all the applicants who did submit, which is a pretty huge number. So I can't say I have one favorite one because there's so many great talent out there, but I will just mention I did enjoy watching the participants create videos throughout the program, especially when they just shared experiences and just saying, oh, I'm so thankful for this program and I'm so glad that they were able to have that opportunity. So by seeing those just made me tear up and emotional and just remind me that the work I'm doing is good and needed.
Well, it certainly is good and needed, and the stuff that you both do on and off the screen is certainly appreciated by many, many people. I think we're going to have to leave our conversation there, but I want to say a big thank you, Miigwech, to the both of you for coming in, and really appreciate you guys just sharing your insight and some of your knowledge into everything that goes into the program, and hopefully we get to see it again next year. And Julia, best of luck with all your work as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.